So here I'm going to discuss the foundation details of our Bushey job back in 2017. As I said before, this was our days before 3D. So here's my 2D sketches to set all my datums and my dimensions. I always set my datum as finished floor level, whether it's new build or an extension. Specifically if it's an extension, and I calculate all of my details working backwards from there. So joist thickness, heights, steels, foundations, so that I know how far I need to excavate. On projects, you never want to take too much away. It's costly to take it out and it's costly to bring it back, and you end up you're only doing the work twice. So you want to factor exactly, only take what you need to take out. Where the new patio is going, I've mentioned that the garden dropped off quite a bit, so we had a retaining wall, blockwork wall with some additional foundations. There was a laurel hedge that was set in there. You'll see here I put some notes. I think I've mentioned on the 3D videos, I use this a lot for visualizing the build and working out the build sequence. So as I'm doing the drawings, I'm making notes because so much is going on, I can often forget that. One of the additional challenges on this project was the fact that there was no access. So this is the fence. We couldn't get a wheelbarrow, let alone any plant down the side of the house. There was no access on this side, which meant everything had to come through the middle of the house. We we could drive a digger through the house, which we did. Here's a picture of the digger in the client's lounge. We also got the piling rig through the house. When we did demolish this section, we had to leave that open, and we just squeezed the machine into the house. I did have pictures of that, but I can't seem to find them, so that's a shame. And so here's more detail of the foundations. You have steel beams on top of the piles to cap them and to weigh them down, essentially. So this was the steel beam. This is them encased in concrete. There's a bit more detail here. So the concrete encasing the beams, they're wrapped in mesh, and then there's insulation, Claymaster insulation around that for ground heave so that this doesn't move. So here's all my dimensions to set it out on site. This was all drawn based off the drawings, and then when I was on site I could amend this, as I've said and probably continue to say, when I'm working in 3D I can draw this and then just alter it so that it's perfectly to scale, and then when I'm at home, if I need to pull off dimensions and calculate stuff, I know it's going to be accurate. So as I said, the challenge here, amongst many challenges on the foundation, was where the extension was going. They had a patio, so we had to break through this patio so that the piling machine could do its work. What we didn't realise was a couple of feet below this patio was another patio that they'd already gone over. So we then needed to take that out, and there was all kinds of rubbish, steel poles. So we ended up excavating quite a lot, more than we wanted to, essentially. You'll see that there are the videos I've uploaded on the website and the socials, so you can see that if you're interested. So we actually had to excavate more than we wanted, and when you've got a piling rig, it's obviously a heavy bit of machinery and there's a lot of torque while it's boring. So you need to put down what's called a piling mat, which is essentially a hard surface for it to sit on. Because we'd excavated so much, we needed to backfill. So we had to put some shuttering in, backfill and compact in certain areas. I set some formwork out for the centres of the piles, as I wanted those to be perfect because I'd already ordered the steel. So again, this drawing shows that, and here's a detail of part of the piling mat and the pile and the formwork around it to do its centre. And I've mentioned probably quite a few times, and will continue to do so, that in 3D modelling I like to quantify for materials. So this is how I used to do it before. For the formwork, I did a quick sketch so that I could work out exactly how many sheets, as we don't like to be wasteful. So that's just a quick overview of the foundations at our Bushey job.